So I watched Saw 10 in theaters the other night, and I'm no film critic, I don't know the proper way to break down and critique a film, but it was bad. Now to be fair, I'm probably not your typical Saw 10 audience member. I haven't seen most of the Saw movies. I did watch the first Saw back in 2004 when it came out, and I loved it, it blew my mind. I saw the second Saw in theaters and maybe even the third, but after that I pretty much checked out of the franchise completely. And that was my context going into Saw 10. I know what the movies are about, I understand Jigsaw as a sympathetic character, but I haven't actually watched most of the movies. Now, why would I go see Saw 10 if I haven't seen most of the films? Well, 89% score on Rotten Tomatoes, 7 out of 10 on IMDb, best score among critics in the entire franchise. It had good reviews. Probably should have actually read those reviews first, but the numbers were high. So I went and watched it, having no clue what to expect. Now this video is obviously gonna have some spoilers, so if you haven't seen the movie yet, then you should probably go do that first, but wow. Saw 10 is one of the most hilariously bad movies I've seen since Scream 6. It tries to take this approach of like a Joker or Halloween Ends type movie where the villain is like an anti-hero protagonist. The plot of Saw 10 is that John Kramer, aka Jigsaw, hears about an experimental new cancer treatment that can save his life. He goes to Mexico in pursuit of this treatment, gets it, finds out that it wasn't real and that he got scammed, and then proceeds to get revenge on the people who scammed him. So it's kind of like a reversal of how the original Saw films played out. Instead of rooting for the victims to survive Jigsaw's games, you're supposed to be rooting for Jigsaw to succeed because the scammers are bad people. But the problem with that is that Jigsaw is a sadistic, evil f***. It's kind of hard to get an audience to cheer for the guy who does this.
All you have to do is click the dial across the 5 positions, and you will live to see another day. You have 60 seconds. Help me!
So of course that means that the main antagonist in this film has to be so cartoonishly evil that Jigsaw looks good by comparison, which of course just doesn't work at all and comes off as goofy instead. The main villain in this movie is the leader of the con artists, Dr. Peterson. Now not only does Dr. Peterson steal money from dying people, lie about literally everything, and show no remorse or sense of morality throughout the entire film, but then the writers just give her an 8-year-old to murder for good measure. You know, to really emphasize how she's the real bad guy here, and definitely not the person who just forced someone to perform brain surgery on themselves like 20 minutes earlier. Every attempt to make me see Jigsaw in a positive light made this movie feel like a dark comedy to me. There's even a point where Jigsaw saves that 8-year-old kid from dying, gives him all of the money that the scammers stole, which is supposed to show that Jigsaw has a strong moral code and that deep down he really can be a good person that cares about children or whatever, but it just comes off as completely insane because as this is happening, they're standing in a warehouse full of mutilated bodies. They're both covered in blood, aside from their eyes and mouths because makeup was lazy, and 2 people are literally in the process of dying just up the stairs next to them. And this kid is supposed to be anything but terrified of John. This all happens, by the way, at the end of the film, which wraps up into this happy, sentimental ending. And as this uplifting music is playing, I'm looking around the theater like, what the f am I watching? Are we really having a sentimental moment here with Jigsaw after he murdered people? The only way this could get worse is if, no, don't you fucking dare do it. Don't you walk into that sunset. I think the fundamental concept of this movie just doesn't work. I mean, what's next? Jigsaw goes country?
So never leave me lonely.
And I mean, let's be real, the context of the film isn't enough to paint him in a heroic light. Oh, he got scammed. Yeah, that sucks, but he also kills people. Oh, he saved that boy. It's really great, but he also kills people. Like that headless girl lying on the ground over there because she didn't cut her leg off fast enough. And that's another thing, his traps weren't even fair. The first 2 victims basically did exactly what they were supposed to do and still ended up dying anyways. Now, I'm a random YouTuber, so I know a thing or two about lazy writing. It's kind of my specialty. But Jesus Christ, dude, even I try a little harder than these guys did. Everything that happens in this movie is so hilariously cliche. It feels like satire. Generic dialogue tropes.
You know, I'd die for you, baby.
Lines and situations that feel like they were forced into the movie just so they could serve as callbacks later. Reusing the exact same lines and wording repeatedly within a 5-minute time span.
Drug cocktail.
Drug cocktail.
Cocktail.
I'm just about to start the cocktail.
Also, every time something stupid happens in this movie, they make no attempt to justify justify why. Like, this film takes place in Mexico. How the hell did Jigsaw prepare all of these traps to work perfectly in this random Mexican mansion with seemingly very little preparation time? And why the hell did he bring his doll with him? Like, are you telling me that thing just cleared customs? Name one good reason for bringing it. And why does Jigsaw bother to leave tapes for his victims when he's literally standing right there? Why is he just working on his traps in public for everyone to see, and then discarding evidence of his designs into public garbage cans? And the scene with the kid. Oh my god, the scene with the kid. They have Jigsaw meet this random kid and help him fix his bike, you know, because Jigsaw's an engineer, and that comes off super forced as it is. Because why else is there a scene with Jigsaw and a child other than to make him look like a nice guy, a swell guy?
I'm a nice enough guy. I'm a cool kind of guy.
Then they hit us with the pull scene. For seemingly no reason, Jigsaw asks the boy how to say pull in Spanish. Like, he doesn't tell the boy to pull anything in that scene, he just randomly asks. So you just know when watching the scene that they're going to call back to it later. And then lo and behold, when Dr. Peterson hooks the kid into one of the traps, Jigsaw's all like,
No hala. No hala.
as they proceed to take turns getting waterboarded. But I think my favorite part of the film was the twist ending part. You know how every Saw film has that big twist at the end and the music goes ba-na-na, ba-na-na, ba-na-na-na. Well, of course, Saw 10 has a scene just like that. And it's so funny because almost every shot they cut back to for the big reveal is just some throwaway line that has no impact on the film.
You know I'd die for you, baby.
Honestly, as I was leaving the theater, I was fully entertained, but just not for the reasons the filmmakers wanted. But I couldn't help but think to myself, how did Saw turn into this? The first Saw movie is an absolute classic. Two guys trapped in a bathroom and they need to figure out how to escape. You sympathize with them, you try to figure out the puzzles alongside them. And when we do get that final twist at the end, it totally catches you off guard because the movie misleads you about Jigsaw's identity. I know that sequelitis is a very real thing, and it's not just an old Ego Raptor YouTube series, but it's still a bit disappointing to me that something could start off so great and end up so like Saw 10. Then again, everybody else seems to love it, so I'm probably just an asshole. But still, the original Saw is like a legitimate good movie, whereas Saw 10 is just a torture porn franchise that's gone on way too long. And if you like the Saw series, honestly, just go watch the movie. Don't listen to what I'm saying. I'm just some schmuck with an internet connection. But if you dislike the movie, don't say I didn't warn you. Now, if you'll excuse me, I'm gonna go watch the first Saw movie and wash this bad taste out of my mouth. Psych! Come on, I'm doing a Saw video. I gotta have a twist ending, right?
Oh, Slush. Remember when you said that you watched the movie because of the review scores?
It had good reviews.
But you didn't read the reviews, did you?
Probably should have actually read those reviews first.
You just looked at an average score, not caring about the hard work people put into writing reviews. Now you go on to criticize the film, my film, out of your ignorance. I want to play a game. The rules are simple. There are over 100 audience reviews for Saw 10. Go read some of the reviews and try not to die.
Yeah, I could do that. You're good though, right?
What?
No, just, you know, it's just not that deadly of a trap. It's kind of out of character for you. I thought maybe, you know, you got a lot on your mind. Thought I'd check in on you.
Well, actually, now that you mention it. No, wait a second. Just read the damn reviews.
Okay, fine. Sheesh. All right, let's see what we got here. Doc says, awesome film, but why is Jigsaw dying in every film? Kinda odd, don't you think? Great question, Doc. Truly a mystery. Adam is Alive says, very solid movie, and I will take Saw sequels over Scream sequels any day. Based alert, but they need to bring back Adam in the next movie. Come on. Okay, you lost me there in the second half. What does Adam have to do with this movie? He's not even in the movie. Okay, this one's a little bit of a negative one. We got a 6 out of 10 here. This is from Just My Take. To me, all the extremely positive reviews seem like bots, okay? Of course it gets decent reviews because it's an overall well-made movie. But anyone who cares about the lore and overall timeline will be disappointed. If this movie takes place a few weeks after what happened to Adam and Gordon, then how should I feel sympathy for John? Right, exactly, thank you. Or what about Amanda? She was a horrible person. Why would I like her? She killed Adam in the most horrible way possible instead of letting him go. Now, if they actually showed that Adam actually didn't die, this would fix everything and this movie would actually be very good. But they didn't do that. I'm sorry, what? You know what, actually I agree. If Adam was alive, this would be a better movie because it would be Saw 1. Another positive one, 8 out of 10 from Saw Universe. Tobin Bell was very good in this movie, but they need to bring back Adam in the next movie. Oh my god, Adam again. Adam was one of the best characters. This could literally be Spider-Man No Way Home type moment if they bring Adam back. It would easily become the highest grossing Saw movie, maybe even 300 million, because all OG fans would go see it. think I'm starting to see why Jigsaw wanted me to read these, because these are painfully stupid. Okay, this one's a 10 out of 10 from No More. Anyone who hates Adam is a fake Saw fan. He was an important and unpopular character in OG trilogy. 2024 will be the 20th anniversary of OG Saw, so it would be perfect opportunity to bring it back. I'm sorry, I just can't believe there's so many Adam comments. Okay. 2 out of 10 from Daniel Endur. I think this is actually a real review here. It begins with what feels like promising direction and even perhaps the arrival of a character to cheer on for the first time in the franchise. I don't know about that. However, that quickly fizzles and you're stuck with the same old thing. No likable characters, bad acting, and the question remaining of who the heck thought this was of quality or importance to me. I actually should have read this review before watching the movie, because maybe I wouldn't have seen it then. Okay, this is a 1 out of 10 from Saw 11. Probably gonna be a pretty base review. Very disappointed. Yes, it's overall well made, but it's not what I wanted from this movie. I guess fans of later Saw movies will be happy because Hoffman is back, but fans of Saw 1, 2, and 3 will be very disappointed because Adam is not alive apparently. Oh my god, this is starting to kill me. This is actually starting to kill me. Wait, why is the music playing? Hello? Am I gonna die? Hello?
Game over.
One last twist, we're not ending on that song.